Good morning, guys. My name is Noel, and you are welcome to my YouTube channel. Okay, so please kindly subscribe to my channel if you have not done so, and please do smash the like button, and of course, help me to share this video as well. So today I'm gonna share with you an important information on how to apply for accommodation at the University of Luxembourg. Okay, accommodation at the University of Luxembourg. So if you have been admitted at the University of Luxembourg and you're trying to find how to get an accommodation where to stay during the course of your studies, I'm gonna share with you some very important information that will help you to make an informed decision. Okay, so firstly, let's look at the eligibility criteria to get an admission at the University of Luxembourg. Importantly, rooms are reserved exclusively for the following group of people. One, it is for students enrolled in bachelor's, master's, or doctoral degree programs at the University of Luxembourg on a full-time study programs, okay? On a full-time study programs. And secondly, it can also be allocated to students on exchange program, or maybe Erasmus or kind of internship programs. And thirdly, it can also be allocated to students that are returning from mobility. Okay, so let's look at the budget now. Money matters. Okay, so let's look at minimum monthly rental budget at the University of Luxembourg accommodation. Number one is on average of €450 for bachelor's and master's incoming students. So if you are coming to study bachelor's degree program or master's at the University of Luxembourg, you should be able to have a budget of roughly €450 monthly for accommodation cost. Yes, it might seem high, relatively, but if you go to private accommodation, it's even more than this. So at the end of the day, accommodation at university is still relatively cheaper than private accommodation. Number two, you need to budget around €600 per month if you are on a salaried doctoral study program. So if you are coming to do a doctoral degree program and you are being paid, because most of the doctoral students are kind of would I call them an employee of the universities to say, because they are actually paid. So if you are coming for doctoral study programs, then you should budget about €600 per month for the cost of the accommodation. Okay, now let's look at the limited duration of stay. So you cannot stay there forever. There are limited amount of time or limited duration of time that you have to stay at the university accommodation. Number one, if you are studying a bachelor's degree program, you can only stay for 36 months, which is roughly 3 years, which is the ideal number of years for bachelor's degree program. Now, if you are studying a master's degree program, you can only stay for about 24 months at the university accommodation or housing, because obviously master's degree program lasts for 2 years at the University of Luxembourg and in most universities in the European Union. So obviously it means that you have to try to graduate at the right time, because if you have problem with your normal standard years of graduation, probably you might not be able to have your accommodation renewed after those period of time you are meant to stay there. So for masters, you're gonna be able to stay at the accommodation for 24 months. Okay, and for doctoral students, again, also 24 months at the University of Luxembourg accommodation. So let me now tell you how you can make the housing request. You have to make it not earlier than 10 weeks before the desired reservation date. So if you're planning to come to the university, you have to make sure you don't make that reservation not earlier than 10 weeks before your desired reservation date. And you have to make this application via the University of Luxembourg Housing Request Portal. Okay? And once reservation has been allocated to you by the University Accommodation Department, then you must pay within 10 days to confirm your accommodation. You have to make a payment within 10 days to confirm your accommodation. What are these payments? One, you have to pay a guarantee of 2 rents for the reserved accommodation. Secondly, then 1 month's rent. That will be your first rent. Okay? For you to confirm your reservation, if you have been allocated a place at the University of Luxembourg Housing or Accommodation or Hostel, for you to confirm that reservation, you have to first of all make a guarantee payment of 2 rents, and then subsequently make 1 month's regular payment, which will serve as your first rent. Without payments of these fees within 10 days, the reservation will automatically cancel your accommodation. Okay? And alternatively, because sometimes the accommodation at the University of Luxembourg might be fully booked because it's highly competitive, a lot of people want to stay there. So if you are not allocated a place, there is also alternative options. So if accommodation at the University of Luxembourg is not granted to you due to capacity, there are alternatives, some private accommodation company agencies in Luxembourg which you can also contact for possible place to stay. I'm going to drop the links of various accommodation companies or kind of rental agencies that you can contact. Or maybe if you are coming to Luxembourg to study but not at the University of Luxembourg, then you can also try the alternative private options, because the University of Luxembourg accommodation is designed exclusively for students who are enrolled at the University of Luxembourg. So I hope this will help you to plan ahead if you are coming to Luxembourg for your studies. So that means you have to make application for admission quickly. Currently it's ongoing between February to April for non-EU nationals. Application for admission is on. For non-EU nationals, it will last from February to April, okay, yearly. So the faster you apply, the more you get, the faster you get your admission offer, the more you have chances of also securing accommodation at the University of Luxembourg. So thank you very much for watching. I hope this will help you to plan properly towards your study in Luxembourg at the University of Luxembourg. Please, before you go, try to subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not done so. Smash the like button and of course share this video. But don't forget, as I always say, in all that you do, always give it a human face. You have the power to bend reality and create your own future. The future will not come to you. The future will not wait for you. You have to create it the way you want it. The power is within you. Let it out and let your greatness count. I am the Human Investor. Thank you and stay great.